Okay, we are live. So if there's anyone out there, you can just type in welcome. If there's anyone out there, let me know that you can hear me. Hey, Linda, can you hear me okay? Hi, Priscilla. All right, how's the sound and the video? Can you hear me? Ah, perfect. Yay. Okay, so it only took me and Wendell maybe 6 months to get this done. Consistent. Okay, 2. Alright, perfect. Hey, Kelly, how are you doing? Yeah, so I started early just in case we had some technical issues, so I hope you can stay with us for the full hour. We're going to talk about Auralite 23. That's the crystal of the moment, but of course we end up rambling on about other things, which is always a good thing, but yeah, it won't be filled for the full hour of the Auralite 23. I just want to get everyone's input on it, of course, and then we'll talk about other things. So I hope y'all are having a good week so far. Tuesdays are still a little bit, I think, uncertain for a lot of people. It's like, okay, Monday, we know what happened then. Tuesday is like, okay, you're still feeling the water. Wednesday is when you know, okay, how was the week? And then Thursday, Friday, it's just like, okay, downhill from there. So it's pretty cool, yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons I chose Tuesdays to have the conversation. Priscilla, you had low energy the other day. That's concerning. I hope that you're going to be able to get beyond this. I know it's difficult. Yeah, I mean, I get in a slump too myself. And it's really interesting how it's cyclical sometimes. You know, of course, the winter, I mean, that's when I naturally hibernate. But then there's times throughout, you know, the spring and summer and fall where I just feel like I'm just not up to where I would be, you know, if my energy and my aura was in positive mindset. So it's really difficult to pull yourself out. Yeah. So I hope that you're able to find that key to switch, because it can spiral, you know, up or down. So I'm praying for you, hon. So let's see who we have on. So I have Priscilla, Kelly, Linda, and probably Wendell's on. He's usually one of our biggest supporters, at least consistent supporters. So we'll see who else shows up. We have just one more minute. So while we're waiting for others, I'm sorry, my back itches. Did anyone have an opportunity to work with Auralite? This is my only piece of Auralite 23 that I have personally. So Linda, we sent your package out today, so I know that you probably don't have any in your possession. So in the next few days you will. So it is an amazing stone. So I'd love to start hearing what everyone has to say about it. We got this Auralite like 2 years ago, I think, is when we purchased it. We went on a buying trip and brought it in. distinctly remember it. Hey Maribel, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So we were just, I was just talking about the crystal of the moment. I haven't started giving my my opinion of it yet. So Priscilla, you have more Auralite than I do. I didn't save a bracelet. I cannot believe that. I mean, I really cannot believe I didn't save a bracelet for myself. You know, hindsight, right? Usually like, why didn't I have the forethought to do that? But I'm going to have to rely on you to tell me your experiences with Auralite. If you're willing to share, of course. And Maribel, I'm not sure if you have any. And Kelly, if you're still on, if you have any Auralite, I'd love to hear. I'm sure everyone else would. Your experiences with Auralite. So we might have a little bit of a lag here, which is not unknown, right, to be in Facebook land and have a lag. Is anyone willing to share their experiences with Auralite? Okay, here we go. Here's Priscilla's. Okay. That's really a amazing overview. So Priscilla, have you done any deliberate work with Auralite? I mean, because I like right now I'm wearing garnet, Uvarovite garnet, but I've not worked with it. So I mean, I do surround myself with crystals, but I haven't done a one-on-one with this. A friend of mine wrapped it for me, so I can appreciate the beauty of it and the traits that I've heard about, but connecting with this particular crystal I haven't done yet. So have you had the opportunity, Priscilla, to work with any of the bracelet you have, or any of the other excuse me, crystals, the Auralites, and how you would personally communicate with them, or what your experience was? Or Maribel, if you've had any experience, I would love to hear that too. I'm sure all of us would. That's why we're on here. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think then, so there is such a thing. Okay, so I'm just going to think about this for a minute. So there is a difference between a deliberation act, a deliberate act, right? So I consciously set out to do something. That's deliberate. That's how I would see working with. But then there's also the spiritual side, which is the intuitive side, right? So you gravitate towards something and not have a deliberate action or act in place, but you know that you're working with it subconsciously. So I think that like what you're doing, Priscilla, is not a deliberate act where your logical mind is doing something. It's more your spiritual self is doing it. You need a boost of protection, yeah. Okay, so Maribel wears her bracelet every day. You find it calming, yeah. Okay. So you think you may have used it when you were doing a sort of guided meditative journey with an old friend. Yeah. So who did the, did you do the guiding, or did your friend do the guiding? And what was do you remember what the purpose of the guided journey was? So yeah, Sarah, we do have some. I had different price ranges. They went from $20, $15, $10. I don't think I have anything less than that. I think I almost sold out all the $10 item Auralite. So I might have some more, but they're in the 20 or the 15. I'll contact you for sure. Yeah. Bad drivers usually spark your anger. I know. Bad drivers terrify me now. I mean, I'm just so compelled to stay back because I don't know what their expectations are, how they're going to react, right? So are they going to be impulsive, aggressive? So I'm like, ugh. Yeah, and of course I live in southeast Houston, so I have to drive through Houston to get to work, and it's most afternoons it's terrifying. In the morning, sometimes stretches, I mean, it's a little bit tense because people are afraid, they're late to work, and so they'll try and rush, which that never works. Ah, yeah. Connection to the angelic realms. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I have an experience with the self-imposed limitations and unhealthy behavior patterns, and that was actually something that I wanted to mention to y'all about my experience with it. But I'll wait till everyone else has an opportunity to share. I don't want to hog up all the time. Yeah, it's important, I think, that we all have an opportunity to share. I'm just writing down some thoughts. Oh, your friend did it. Okay. All right. So Priscilla, her friend did a guided journey. And so you were trying to connect with your magic to understand a little bit better. Okay, yeah. I was just telling Wendell right before the live is that, I mean, I really feel like I need to pull out some magic. I need to stay in connection with that side of myself. So now I have to think about what I need to do. So that's the fun part. Is that logical part of me planning, and then introducing the magical side of me. So yeah, it's when those two halves come together. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I'll get it to you, hon. I promise. Ooh. Okay, so Maribel wears her bracelet when she's doing oracle cards, and it's been accurate according to the receivers. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really funny how when I don't strain for the answer, how easy it comes, because I think then like the Auralite, it does allow you to open up and be more receptive to the intuitive side of yourself, and then of course receive messages from spirit. So I really like that idea. I don't necessarily work with my Auralite when I'm doing oracles or tarot, but I could see where it would be very helpful. Oh, I didn't know that you were near Colleen, or Linda. I honestly don't know much about where the town that you live in, but I can imagine where people are really aggressive over there just from the industry. Right? I know that Colleen has the military base. Yeah, yeah, and they all come together, being crazy, right? And a lot of them too. I think that they have the wrong attitude, not just about driving, but in general. So I can see where you need more protection. So I'm going to share with you this spell that I do every time I get in a car. Okay. Okay, so let me say this. Okay, so protect me now as I go in and out of this traffic flow. My bubble's up. Poof. So I put a bubble over the car. Its form's intact. As I say it, it's now a fact. So that as I say that, I immediately feel like I am in a protective bubble, and I can tell you that it works so well that there are times where when the traffic is really aggressive, I have more than ample safety distance put between me, front and back. Sometimes the traffic gets congested, which I am. This is kind of strange, but I like traffic in rush hour because everybody has to slow down, right? So there isn't any bad drivers because we're crawling, right? You can't run 90 miles an hour when there's traffic. So yeah, so that to me is really beneficial. So when it's an unknown area, or if it's a dangerous area of the Houston, raining, whatever the case might be, I always wish for traffic, because it brings everything to a screeching halt, which is what I like, because then everybody's cautious. Yep. So just remember the chant. You can change it however you want, of course, or make up your own, but I do that at every opportunity. So probably once a day I am putting that spell up, that reaching out to the universe, saying, hey, put a protective bubble over me. And I actually did that during a hurricane that was expected to hit the area that I lived in. So I put a bubble over the home, and unfortunately I didn't include the fence. So the fence was the only thing that came down during that hurricane. So make sure that whatever you put over that bubble over is that what you want to include, all of it, because even you don't think about it, but when you leave something out, it gets left out. What I'll do then is, Priscilla shared, and so has Maribel. So I'll just tell you about my experience with Auralite, if you don't mind. So this was the crystal that I used on Sunday. So I had a client come over, and she wanted a cleansing. So there's several different ways to perform cleansings on individuals. There's Reiki. I think that a lot of us know of that. There's a shamanic approach. There's crystal healing, and then there's just general energy work. So I incorporate all of those. I don't have a specific style. I just do what I'm called to do. So I don't really know until the client is here, or even I don't really know until the session is evolving. Hey. We'll stay for a while, Brianna, and just sit back and relax, hon. Hopefully this will relax you and give you some opportunities just to calm down and decompress. So the client, she arrived, and she had some issues, mainly blame. She's being blamed a lot for other people's circumstances, and she felt a lot of shame, and she was disconnected from her purpose. She seemed like she lost herself after her divorce about 10 years ago. So it's something that she's never really moved beyond. So I use Auralite 23. First and foremost was to realign, her chakras. So I started first in the crown chakra, and the way I do my work, and of course everyone has their own style. So I hold a crystal in my right hand, and in my left hand I'm feeling the energy of the client. So I'm going along their body. So I'll start out, and so my left hand is feeling the energy, and my right hand is the crystal itself is almost like paving the way. It's like preparatory, right? So as I'm traveling down their body, starting from their head, and I go all the way down beyond their feet. I'm intently trying to feel any differences in their energy line, right? So we're all, you all know we all are made of energy, so you can actually feel the differences. So as I reach each chakra, I try and focus a little bit harder and see, okay, what's different about this space as it was to an inch above or below, right? So as I'm going, then I'll stop and say, okay, so this area needs some attention. And then I just complete that. It's like a body scan, really. So I just go throughout their whole body, trying to find any abnormalities or anything that just is off, right? I'm quoting that. So for this particular person, what I could detect was the differences were in her heart chakra and her sacral. So those are the two areas that I felt like needed my most attention. The other ones, I of course paid attention to, but that wasn't my focus area. So as I was working with the Auralite 23, I knew that those were the areas of my focus. So that so not only did I use the Auralite 23, but I also selected additional crystals to lay upon those areas, and I felt like those were the ones that would be the supporting character, the supporting crystal to the Auralite 23. But the Auralite 23 is the one that I actually used to bring connection to all of the chakras and to where they were working in conjunction with each other, or they were like a well-oiled machine, right? So every chakra had its purpose, and it was well balanced and had the ability to open up to the healing energy that I was providing to her. So that was my experience with the Auralite 23, and this was just on Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. So, that was pretty exciting for me to show. And then after the session was over, she shared with me that she could actually feel the difference in her energy body. She could actually tell that prior to her being with me, the difference between after the session. So that was really encouraging for me. And her too, that was the reason she came. But I just know I attribute a lot of the success to Auralite 23. So yeah, it was really good, Brianna. I think it benefited her tremendously. yeah, so I'm hoping to use that again. If I'm called to, of course, every client's different, so their needs are totally. I have so many crystals here, and so I couldn't very well give each one an opportunity to do a job for me, not within a short period of time, but I'm hoping that I'll have the opportunity to be called to Auralite 23 again. Yeah, and you'll know this. And one thing I want to stress more than anything is that when you are called to a crystal, don't doubt the sincerity of the moment, but also the intuitiveness of it. Don't doubt yourself, right? So I think that's where a lot of us we get in our own way. I'm just like, okay, yeah. So when you're called to a crystal, it's not only just because it's beautiful. It's I think it's because it's giving you the opportunity to take advantage of its healing properties, whatever that healing is, right? I mean, it's not just physical; it's spiritual, mental. So, and it could be just momentary, right? I mean, it just could be a moment of sadness, and then you want to pick up, a piece of rose quartz. It may not be anything, that's long term or debilitating. It just could be just get beyond that moment. So don't discount, the power of the crystal. I think that they're there to help us in many ways. So I really appreciate the fact that y'all listened to my story, and you felt that there was some value to it, because I really wanted to offer that experience to you, because it was quite amazing for me too, to be able to provide that to her. I'm not going to give you her name, and I think that it benefited her, which is amazing. That's why we did it, right? So I think what I'm really being called lately, guys, and I know we did this on the crystal show the other day, to do oracle cards and tarot. I mean, I think it's for the more in-depth, readings, which is something we don't have time for. But the oracle cards, I mean, if you just do one card, then it's just minutes. Oh, wow. A crystal bowl with crystals in it. Yeah, I don't have a crystal bowl. Well, actually, I have one, but it has paper mache eggs in it. So I'll have to. Oh, okay, cool. So Linda. Yep, I was just going to say, if anyone was interested in me doing an oracle card for them. Okay, so Linda, that one, I'm going to say it's not the one. I tried, but I saw what it was. No, you know what, there's only 3 of y'all on, so I think I can do a card for everybody. How about that? I'll do a card for everybody. So Linda is the first. Okay. All right, so Linda. Let's see what Linda's got. Ooh. Can you see? Deceit. Okay, Linda. All right, so it's not just deceit, but there's somebody that's close to you right now that's not being entirely truthful. They're withholding information from you, and I really think that they believe that it's for your own good. So I don't believe that they're doing it to be hurtful or to sabotage you, but I think that what they believe, and this is for Linda, they believe that they're protecting you. It's the deceit card, Linda. So deceit. So I think that they believe that they're protecting you from the truth that they think that might hurt you. So I think that this is going to come up in the next few days, maybe a week, where you're going to find out that somebody withheld the truth from you. But when you find out, I would suggest that you take into context everything that's happened around that situation and understand what their motive was, right, before you react. So understand their motive. So that's for Linda. Okay, so all right, so that was Linda. So who else wants a card? Oh, really? Uh-oh. Well, okay, so Linda, just when you find out what happened, just understand what their motive is, and just try and reconcile the situation to that, and then be upfront with them. Okay, so Priscilla and then Maribel. Okay, so this one's for Priscilla. Priscilla. All right, Priscilla. Okay, Priscilla. Priscilla, wisdom. Okay, Priscilla. All right, so Priscilla, the wisdom card can mean many things, but what the card's telling me right now is that you actually have somebody near you that is wanting to share with you some information, and I don't think you really would naturally go to that person for advice, but I think that this person, for whatever reason, isn't the type of a person to offer it to you freely. So they're not ashamed or embarrassed. I think they're withholding the information because they don't want to interfere, right? So I would suggest that you look around at the people that you are encountering right now, and it may not even be somebody that's physically there with you. It could be somebody that you're dealing with long distance, but it's somebody that is not normally the type to give you advice, but might have some insight into a situation that you're currently in. So I think that they have some guidance for you. So I don't know who that person is, but it's an unlikely person. It's somebody you would not normally go to, or they would not normally be the type to say, "Hey, Priscilla, why don't you blah blah blah." So they're just waiting to offer that advice to you. So so be on the lookout for them. Yeah, there's a lot of people. See, I mean, I don't like to get into people's business, because you're not in their situation, you're not in their lives. So, but I think that there's somebody out there, Priscilla, that has some good advice for you. They just need you to ask them. Okay, so then that was for Maribel. Let's see. I'm sorry, Maribel's next. Sorry, that was for Priscilla. So Maribel. Let's see. Maribel. What do we have for Maribel? Okay, let's see here. Sorry, just trying to wait until Spirit tells me to stop. Okay. Maribel, life. Okay, so Maribel, I mean, of course, the word life, I mean, we all can define that, but the way I see this card for you, Maribel, is that you are going through this stage right now to where you are exploring different options and opportunities, putting out little feelers. It's like, okay, is this what I want to do, or is that what I want to do, or should I do both, or should I do neither? So I think that you are going through this growing phase spiritually, to where you know that you want to move forward, you just don't know in what direction. So you are sending out little, tendrils, I guess you could call it, into the universe, just testing the waters, just to see, okay, is this what I want to do, or is that what I want to do? But just know that whatever direction you choose, it's the direction you should be going in. So don't second guess that. I understand why you want to just, figure out, is that what I want to do, or that, but just know that whatever path you choose, whatever direction you decide, or whatever task or project or action you decide on, just know that it's the right one for you right now. So that one's for Maribel. All right. So, is there anyone else that would like a card pull? Let's see. I think I got everyone that asked. You're growing with the flow. I love that. Oh, okay. So, Brianna, would you like a card? We got 28 minutes left of the the conversation, so we have plenty of time. So I'd love to do one for you, Brianna. Just let me know. I do. Okay. All right, so this one's for Brianna. Let's see what Brianna needs. Oh, thank you, Maribel. Yeah, I love Oracle. Yeah, it's one of my favorite divination. Yeah, it is. All right, so those don't want to come out, Brianna. Why not? All right, so Brianna, fire. Okay, so Brianna, there's something that you are procrastinating about. It's almost like you are afraid to take action on this, even though it's going to open up opportunities for you. So what this card's telling me, Brianna, is that you need to trust fire. Okay, so fire is, well, there's many definitions and some symbolisms to fire, but in your particular instance today, I'm seeing that fire for you means that you need to be passionate about what you are thinking about doing, but are hesitant about doing. You're afraid. For some reason, you're afraid to take on this, whatever it might be. Even if it's, taking a class, or speaking to a new person, applying for a job, starting a new hobby, I don't know, starting a new health regimen, whatever it might be. I think you know what it is, but it's something that, so fire is just saying, you're just going to have to give in to that and know that the passion that you put behind it is going to make it successful. But it's telling me for you is that you need to take action. So just don't sit around thinking about it, dreaming about it, wishing, wanting. Do something. Do something, whatever it might be, and you'll know what it is. I can't tell you what it is because I don't have that type of intel, but that's what the fire card's telling me about your situation right now. So, wow. So there you go. Wedding videography. I don't know how to pronounce that, but so there you go. Yeah, I mean, so Brianna, I mean, so I really think that that card is telling us both, I mean, you specifically, that stop being, your fear is what is the obstacle, right? So you just need to just give it up to the universe and just surrender and just say, okay, I am ready. I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do it. And then, it could be volunteering, doing one for free, just to show what you can do, but then also give you that acknowledgement that, yes, I can do this. So I think if you take away the price point, because when somebody pays for something, it's like you have to deliver. You have to deliver perfection. You have to deliver professionalism. But if you give it away for free, then you can kind of be relaxed a little bit, right? So it doesn't matter because it's free, So I can make a mistake, or I can be, relaxed, and it's okay. So just, I'm not saying, work like a dog for free, but you might want to think about that. Okay. The deceit card. Okay, yeah, so you know who it is then, Linda. Yeah, it's really funny how when things are happening, you kind of, what that card has a meaning about. So just like Brianna, so the oracles are just so awesome. I mean, they're just one card, but they can say so many things. They can expand and expound upon a situation. Yeah. Well, yeah, I would be very confident in that, Linda, because your intuition would pick up on it, and then that's what I'm picking up on. So I'm picking up on your situation, and that connection. The oracle cards. Of course, they're personalized. It's your situation that they're speaking of. So, yeah, I would just wait for your son, to come to you, unless, of course, it's brought to your attention outside of that. But I think that they're really afraid of hurting your feelings and not telling you. And it may not be something that they're doing. It might be something that they know about. Right, so they're trying very hard to keep it away from you. Ignite that fire. Yep, absolutely, Brianna. So, I'm sure you have friends or friends of friends or friends of friends of friends that's, getting married, and, they have a tight budget, and, offer to them, hey, this is what I do as a hobby. I would love to offer this to you as a gift. And then, you're gonna make them so happy. But at the same time, it's going to give you that opportunity to become confident in your own skills. It's a win-win. Yeah, Linda, I know. I'm sure he's really, really hesitant about coming forward, right? And like I said, I don't think it's out of deceit. Is there's malicious deceit and then a caring deceit, right? So I don't think it's malicious. I really don't. That's my feeling. I think it's something that he's just trying to protect you from. So you have to admire that. Was there anyone else on that needed a card pulled? I don't see anyone. It's hard to say. I can't see the names unless people comment. You're welcome, Brianna. I was happy to do that. Yeah, and I'm actually happy for the opportunity. Okay, good. Yeah. So it is probably just out of, love. It's so deceit. I mean, when we first think about that, it's like, oh, it's a bad thing. But, I think it always boils down to somebody's motive, Oh, hey, Leanne. How you doing? Oh, I would love to do a card for you. Do you mind? Would you like for me to do a card? Oracle card? I won't do it without your consent. So just let me know. You would love a card. Okay, I would love to do a card for you too. Okay, so good. All right, so this one's for Leanne. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Okay. It's reflect. Okay, so Leanne, you've got a project or a situation that's coming to the end, and now's the time for you to stop and take a step back and ask yourself, how do you feel about the ending? And also, how do you feel about that situation, that time of your life? I mean, are you leaving it with all good thoughts, bad thoughts? Are you sad? Are you happy? But there is something right now that is coming. It is about to come to an end within, the next few days, maybe a week or two, not beyond that. But it's not a bad separation. It's just an ending, right? So, but now is your time to sit back and just figure out what did that chapter of your life show you? What did you learn from it? So, yeah, and then, and have some, bittersweet memories about it too. I mean, so you're gonna have some good and some bad, but some, a little bit of sadness because it's ended, but your gratitude that it has come to an end as well. So, yeah, so that's for you, Leanne. So I'd be interested to know how that all plays out. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Cindy, purple's my favorite color. So you would like a card too? Okay, perfect. So Cindy Longden. Let's see what we have for Cindy. Let's see, Cindy. Okay, so let me see what Cindy needs to hear today. Okay. Yeah, and so Leanne, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything grand, right? So anything small or large, there's an ending that's happening. All right, so Cindy. Cindy, okay. So Cindy, I pulled the cycle card for you. All right, so Cindy, so right now you are experiencing a pattern that you can't seem to get beyond. It's almost like you're like you're like, why does this keep happening to me? It always happens to me. And it's not a bad thing, but it's almost like it's something that's derailing you a little bit. It's almost like a slight obstacle. You know, I mean, it's not detrimental. It's not something that, you know, it's a travesty, but it's almost like, I don't know that your personality is one to give up on something. I don't feel like that's it. So it's almost like a little nuisance, right? So so that's what's happening with you right now. You're going through this period where something is happening that's happened before, and you feel like it's going to continue to happen. But I think that you do have the opportunity and the ability to break that cycle. So whatever that is happening with you right now, that, like I said, it's a nuisance. It's nothing. It's not a travesty. It's not even good or bad. It's kind of like neutral. And like I said, it's just like a roadblock, but you're able to go around it. So you need to really figure out how that roadblock keeps coming into your life. And are you calling it in? Are you giving it intention and focus? Because I think that's what happens to us. We bring things in intentionally or unintentionally. So I would first acknowledge that the obstacle exists, and then work to expelling it from your life. Yep. So that's where the cycle comes in for you, Cindy. Yeah. I love this deck. It's the Otherworld deck. It's so, and of course I love it because it's a small deck. I mean, it fits perfectly in my hand. Most cards are too big for me, so these are really, really nice. I mean, I love the messages. I love the feel. I love the size. So, yeah, that's a deck I would recommend. I'll put it on my on the page when we're done, but it's where I got them from. I would recommend that over and over again. They're good for many purposes, such as now, but I use them all the time. I use them for myself probably 6 days a week, right? I mean, there's probably one day that I don't do Oracle for myself and Tarot. So, I mean, it's definitely something I would recommend. They're well used. Yeah, they are good cards, Cindy. So if you do Oracle cards yourself, I would recommend those. If you don't, they're easy to pick up and learn, because, I mean, well, that's the thing about them. You know, there's no definitions. They don't come with a guide. They don't come with a book. It's all Cindy interpreting what she sees and what she feels, which is great for working that muscle, which we all have. We all have the ability to connect with spirit, connect with the other realms, connect with our intuitive side. It's not something that only a few of individuals in the world have the ability. I truly believe that we all have it. It's just been suppressed. I mean, so, through whatever circumstances or beliefs that have come your way, if you don't believe that you have this skill, then it's something happened, to make you think otherwise. But I truly believe that you have the ability. I mean, the capacity. Definitely the intelligence. Right? It doesn't take much intelligence to do it. We just need to trust ourselves, right, Linda? I think it's the Otherworld. I will post the deck, Cindy, on the page when the live is over. Yeah, and I don't think they were that expensive either. Yeah, but it's an amazing Oracle deck. Yeah, I've had them now for maybe about a year. Maybe I lose track of time. But I have so many decks, and this is my go-to deck now. Yeah, so it's the one I'm most comfortable with. Yeah, absolutely. I'll make a note of that. Let's see here. Because I will forget. Okay, so we have just 10 minutes into the show before it ends. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about the upcoming weeks. This guy is it's a clear quartz. It's a little cluster that has this little piece right here. I don't know if you can see it. It has a little bit of iron on it. Yeah, so I just love this little geode. So it's one of mine that I've had for a while. All of my decks I anchor with a crystal if they're out. If they're in their box or in their a cloth pouch, I don't put a crystal in them with them. But if they're exposed, I always put a crystal on top to kind of and I'm not going to protect. It's almost like encase them with the energy of a crystal. Of course, my ritual room is completely safe and blessed, so I don't have any problems with it. Any negative energy coming in here. But yeah, I always do that for my tarot decks or oracle. Okay, so Maribel called to return but told me to not because there would be nothing for me, so I value life to its fullest. On the other hand, I'm putting feelers out for career opportunities. Okay, so there you go. So that's the oracle card too. Hey Tanya, thank you. I was thinking about you today. Absolutely I was. Yeah, it is held up so well. So Tanya Hewlett is my my mentor and the one that I looked up to dye my hair purple. So thank you so much, Tanya, for giving me the inspiration and the courage, and also the knowledge that it would take. I was discounting it completely, but she led the way. Oh, nice. Maribel has a handful of Auralite. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? I know. Yeah, and I can tell you, Tanya, that no one at my office blinked an eye. None. No. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, we mailed your package today, so you should get that within the next few days. Yep. Yeah, Wendell did a post office run for me, so yep, he's the guy. But I had to tell you, it's his excuse too. When he goes to the post office, he's able to stop by and get something to eat for lunch. So yeah, I know. I'm already thinking of. So I got my hair cut after I dyed it. So now I'm thinking how to do this in a practical way. So I'll get my hair cut and then dye it. So I think what I'm going to do next is take some of the. There's a blue that I was looking at, and then just do like the edges of my hair in the blue. So I'll have purple and blue, and then as it grows out, I'll just add another color. So it'll just keep blending. Yeah, because it's holding really well. I don't know if anyone on the show here has gray hair, but I was told by my hairdresser that my gray hair wouldn't take color. So, ta-da! Thanks to Tanya, I now believe differently. So, yeah. So I love it. Galaxy hair, right? I know, Priscilla. And I mean, golly, it was really easy. It was so exciting to do, and yeah, I'm like, this is me. Why did I wait so long? Like, all of that wasted time. Okay, yeah. So next time I think I'm going to have Wendell do it for me too, because I had a difficult time doing the back. So yep, I'm going to put him to he's going to help me. I almost said I'm going to put him to use, but he helps me all the time. Yes. Yeah, I know. Why not? Right? I mean, if I could dye my hair black, why can't I dye it purple? Right? So, which I don't dye my hair black anymore. I used to. Oh my gosh, and that was a trial. My hair grows so fast. I literally get my hair cut every 4 weeks. It grows so fast, which is, I'm not complaining, just stating a fact. So then I just gave up on dyeing it because of the gray. But now I'm like gray blended in with purple and with blue and pink, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to pink and like fire engine red. Yep. So the palette is mine now, so I'm just so excited about that. Thank you, Tanya. So, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no judgment here. I mean, you have beautiful hair. Linda has white hair, not gray. So, I mean, there is a difference. So, that it's a gorgeous color. Thank you, Tanya. So we just have a few minutes before the show is about to end. I don't want to take up more than your time than required. So I wanted to make mention of next week's show, and that's on the 20th. So on the 20th is when we're going to come together, and we're going to have planned our grid, right? So on the full moon, which is July 24th, it's the buck moon, we are going to have individual grid set up, and that's whatever intention you have is yours. It's personalized. But next week is when we're going to share what we plan on doing. So on July 20th, we're going to share the crystals and the sacred geometry that we're going to be using for the full moon, which is on July 24th. We're also on that day going to do our collective crystal coalition, and that's where we're all going to come together at 7:11 CST time, Central Standard Time. We're all going to hold a crystal in our hand, and we are for 9 minutes going to focus on promoting truth, love, and empathy. So that's what we've been doing, and it's worked out really well, and I think that's something that we should continue. So we're going to be doing that on the full moon, and then on the 27th, we're going to come back and we're going to share our experiences. But I will continue to post that schedule so that as we get closer, everyone can be prepared and know what to expect on the Tuesday that you attend. But next week, if you can just come together with the crystals that you plan on using for your personal grid that you're going to put together on the full moon, and why you plan on using those crystals, and what the grid means for you and what you hope to accomplish. So like right now, my grid is up from last full moon. It's still on my kitchen table, and I look at it several times a day, and I think it really helps as I keep it, in a place of balance in the house, and it's obvious. I mean, I'm walking by it, as I said, all the time. So I really think that's me looking at it, focusing on it, has also helped to amplify the energies of the grid. So anyhow, so I hope that y'all can join us next Tuesday. It'll be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So bring together all your crystals, the grid that you're going to be using, and we'll talk more about the collective crystal coalition and what our purpose is there, and then the timing of everything. So so thank you all very much for joining tonight, and thank you for allowing me to pull cards for you. I really enjoy it, and I hope that you got some insight as well. It's fun, and I will post the name of the deck on the page with I don't even remember where I got them from, but I'll try and find out. I'll do some research on where I picked them up at, and I'll put the link on the page as well. You're welcome, Cindy. So thank you for joining, and I hope you can come back next Tuesday. So thank you guys so much for spending your hour with me. Yeah, Priscilla, of course. And Priscilla, I hope that you can find that what's dragging your energy down. Yeah, that's something we really need to figure out what's going on there. Yep. Blessings, Leanne. Thank you so much. Absolutely. I really enjoyed everyone coming on. I really appreciate it as well. So I hope that you have a really good week, and we will see you next Tuesday. Good night, y'all.